You think you're seeing the world as it is. You believe your eyes show you truth, that your thoughts mirror reality, that what you feel must be real. But what if none of that is true? What if everything you've ever experienced, every color, sound, memory, and emotion, has been carefully edited by your brain long before you're aware of it? Welcome to the psychology of reality, the science of why you never see the world as it truly is. From the moment you open your eyes, billions of signals flood your senses: light, sound, texture, motion. But your brain can handle only a fraction. So it filters, compresses, and rearranges everything into something simple enough to survive in. What you see isn't what's out there. It's what your brain believes you need to see. Your mind guesses first and corrects later. That's predictive perception, the brain's shortcut to staying alive. You don't experience raw data. You experience a useful story. The strange part? You feel certain even when you're wrong. Certainty isn't proof of truth. It's the brain's way of keeping the story stable. Think of optical illusions. Two lines that look unequal, but they're not. A color that disappears when the light changes. Your mind invents what it expects. The illusion is not the exception. It's the rule. You live inside an optical illusion that never ends. This illusion extends beyond vision. It shapes the way you see people. You don't see them as they are. You see them as your experiences have trained you to. You meet someone gentle, you project kindness. You meet someone guarded, you imagine hostility. The mind edits others to fit your emotional narrative. That's why relationships can feel like mirrors. They reflect the stories you're already telling yourself. And memory, it isn't a recording, it's a reconstruction. Every time you recall an event, you rebuild it from fragments. Each retelling distorts the original. You're not remembering the event, you're remembering the last time you remembered it. The mind is a storyteller that forgets it's telling stories. Why does your brain do this? Because the truth is overwhelming. Reality unfiltered would paralyze you. The brain's goal isn't accuracy, it's survival. A useful lie beats an unbearable truth. That's why fear works so well. Your ancestors survived by assuming danger first, asking questions later. You inherited that habit, a bias toward threat, negativity, and control. So when life feels chaotic, your mind doesn't seek truth, it seeks certainty. Beliefs are how the brain stabilizes the chaos. You think you choose your beliefs, but most beliefs choose you. They attach themselves where they're most comfortable, where they protect identity, not accuracy. You believe what keeps your world coherent. Cognitive biases act like invisible editors. Confirmation bias rewards agreement. The Dunning-Kruger effect inflates confidence. The halo effect hides flaws. The false consensus effect convinces you everyone thinks like you. Your brain isn't lying, it's simplifying. But in doing so, it blinds you to everything else. And when billions of people share those blind spots, societies form shared illusions. Culture, religion, politics, even fashion, they're all collective hallucinations that feel solid only because enough minds agree on them. Reality becomes a social contract. The illusion of time. Now let's step deeper into something you never truly see, yet live inside every moment. Time. You believe time flows like a river, past behind you, future ahead. But neuroscience tells a stranger story. Your brain doesn't experience time directly. It stitches moments together like frames in a film, creating the illusion of flow. When something surprises you, the frames slow down. When life feels repetitive, they speed up. That's why a minute in danger feels endless and a year in routine disappears. Your perception of time is emotional, not mechanical. Memory and anticipation overlap inside the brain. The same neural circuits that remember the past also imagine the future. That's why you can feel nostalgia for moments that haven't happened yet. Your mind bends time into meaning. In dreams, seconds can last hours. In meditation, hours can feel like seconds. The clock doesn't change. You do. Time is the mind's greatest illusion and perhaps its greatest gift, because only by distorting time can we create story, learning, and growth. But there's another illusion, one that shapes entire civilizations, the illusion of social reality. From birth, you inherit not only language, but a worldview. You're taught what's valuable, what's true, what's polite, what's forbidden. You absorb your culture's version of reality like air, invisible, constant, unquestioned. And once it's in you, it feels natural. You don't even realize it's a story. Money, for example, is paper made meaningful by collective belief. Status is a costume sewn from approval. Even morality shifts across borders, shaped by the stories a society tells itself. Social reality gives order, but it also blinds. When everyone around you believes the same illusion, questioning it feels like madness. That's why progress often starts with those willing to be seen as fools. History's greatest thinkers, from Socrates to Galileo to modern psychologists, shared one trait. They questioned the shared illusion. They dared to see the cracks in consensus. But there's a cost. Seeing differently isolates you. That's why most people return to the comfort of the collective dream. It's safer to agree than to wake. The path to seeing clearly. So how do you begin to see reality more clearly? Not perfectly, just more honestly. First, practice awareness without judgment. When you notice a bias, don't attack it. Observe it. The moment you see your illusion, it weakens. Second, practice radical curiosity. Ask, what else could this mean? Curiosity keeps the mind flexible. Certainty freezes it. Third, spend time in silence. Your mind is loud. It fills every gap with noise. But in silence, the illusion thins. You begin to sense the background awareness behind thought, the part of you that observes without editing. That awareness is the closest thing you'll ever have to truth. Finally, embrace humility. Humility isn't weakness. It's the doorway to wisdom. To admit, I don't know, is to step outside the prison of assumptions. Every scientist, philosopher, and seeker who ever glimpsed reality started with that sentence. When you live this way, the world doesn't become simpler, it becomes clearer. Colors seem sharper, people more mysterious, moments more precious. You stop needing certainty to feel safe. You start finding beauty in the unknown. You realize that truth was never something to possess, it was something to participate in. And so when you wake tomorrow and look at the sky, remember, you're not seeing the sky itself. You're seeing light filtered through atmosphere, through biology, through memory, a billion-year-old performance your mind interprets as blue. But that illusion connects you to every other being looking up at that same sky, each seeing it differently, each creating their own world. And maybe that's what reality really is. Not one truth for all minds, but infinite truths shared between them. So when someone disagrees with you, pause before defending. They aren't wrong. They're living in another version of the world. If you listen closely enough, you might catch a glimpse of yours reflected in theirs. That moment, that shared awareness, is as close as humans come to touching truth. You will never see the world as it truly is, but by knowing that, you begin to see more clearly than ever before. Welcome to your mind's most beautiful illusion. And remember, the most powerful reality you'll ever face is the one you create.